Home sales are down over the last few months when I evaluate the third quarter. Prices, not really. We're seeing some counties in South Florida where condo prices are maybe getting hit a little bit, and then we're seeing some where they're still going up. It's amazing, folks. Anthony Lamacchia here, broker owner of Lamacchia Realty, here to talk to you about our Q3 third quarter housing market report. And I was just sitting here for 10 minutes with my friend Brandon, scrolling the reports and looking at the three counties that we operate in and trying to decipher how I want to go about explaining this to you all. It's quite interesting, some of the things that are going on in the market. And I want to show you, starting with Broward County, okay? Let me flip to that. So this is month of September, and don't worry, I'm not going to go through every month, every county. It would take me too long, but just giving you some general view here, okay? Broward County sales, average price up 15% for single families in September. But you look at closed sales are only up 2%. You look at Miami, closed sales up 2%, average price up 25%. Now, Miami's always a little tricky because there could be an anomaly in the data because there's often a massive mega mansion or something like that that's sold, but stay with me. Now we look at Palm Beach County, overall sales down 6% for single families, 1% for condos. If I jump to August, sales are down. And if I jump to August and I look at Broward, sales are down a bit. So here's the overall numbers and overall what I am finding in this reporting. Overall sales for the third quarter are down anywhere between 8 and 10%. And that can vary by county. That can vary by which month we're talking about, July, August, or September. But by and large, sales are down about 8 to 10% from 2022. And keep in mind, that's from 22. The second part of 22, all over the country, but also in South Florida in particular, got very slow. So the fact that this is even slower shows how much slower it is from 2021, which is the case for the entire country. Now, one of the things that we're noticing with South Florida is it's somewhat the tale of two markets, okay? Condos, due to the changes in the condo rules and regulations with homeowners associations, we're seeing condos get hit a little bit harder. Owners are being required to put more money into condo reserves. HOAs are being required to hold on to more money. They're also being required to fix more things. So special assessments are up. That's having an impact. That's causing more condominium owners to list their properties. That's why we're seeing overall inventory in South Florida. Now it's higher than it was the last 2 years. Single families, still very strong, okay? Prices really aren't going down at all. In fact, they're going up still. And sales are still strong, not as much as they were, but they're stronger than condos. So let me show you the inventory report because this is very telling, and this is how I come up with many, many of my predictions, okay? Take a look at this. In South Florida right now, let's look at the data here. Active inventory monthly in South Florida, all property types. So this is all of South Florida, Miami, Broward, Palm Beach County, 26,000 homes for sale right now. Last year at this time, 24. The year before in 2021, there was more like 22,000 homes for sale. Now we're at 26. Now you might hear that and say, well, that's not really very much of a difference. Well, let me explain a couple things to you. This is noticeably different than in the Northeast. And in my opinion, it's mainly due to condos. There is pressure on condo owners to either pony up money for special assessments or sell the condos. And some, particularly those that don't live there, are opting to sell the condos. No doubt about it, okay? So when you think about that, you say, what does that mean for a buyer? What does that mean for a seller? Okay. If you're a seller of a condo, let me start with you. You need to be realistic. You need to understand what is going on with condominiums. You need to understand that these special assessments, if your building has one, are having an impact. Now, those of you in luxury condos, you're naturally being impacted less because you typically have management companies that are more strict, that are more buttoned up, and they're more forward with all of you to tell you, hey, you need to put the right amount of money in reserves. The right amount of condo fees need to be paid every single month. If you're more in the mid-tier range or lower end range of condo owners, you need to be smarter about what you list your condominium for. If I was in your shoes, if something recently sold for $600,000 and your unit is similar, I would list for $589,000. You want to draw in as many buyers as possible. The more buyers you draw in, the more likelihood that you might have a bidding war, that you have some competition. That helps you with both pricing and what I call negotiation leverage. So, sellers of condos, be realistic, understand what's going on. Buyers of condos, be realistic. Don't hear what I just said and think that they're collapsing like this is 2008, 9, or 10. They're not. But they're getting hit a little bit more. You can be a little tougher, but don't overplay your hand. Okay, if you overplay your hand, you won't land the property. And in a year or two, things improve, prices go back up, and you'll wish that you bought. Okay? Single family purchasers, really not much more negotiation power than there was a year ago. A bit more than 2 years ago. So you're in a better position to buy than you were 2 years ago, but obviously, naturally, the rates are higher, which is frustrating. But please keep in mind, you can refinance your way out of a higher rate. You cannot refinance your way out of paying $100,000, $200,000, $50,000 over asking price. Buyers of both condos and single families, make sure to look into temporary mortgage buy downs. You can get a rate that's 1%, 2%, 3% lower in the first year. To learn more about those buy downs, log on to myratebuydown.com. That's myratebuydown.com. Look into those. Single family sellers, you're still in a stronger position, but don't overplay your hand. Rates are 8% now. It's a lot more for a buyer to spend than it was 2 years ago. We all want to sell for as much money when we're selling, and we all want to get the best deal when we're buying. Don't overplay your hand. That concludes my specific details for the 3 counties and my thoughts with respect to the differences between singles and condos. Here's my overall thoughts with South Florida. Folks, you're in a good position. Buyers and sellers, buyers that are out there across the country, we're still seeing a lot of buyers from up here in Boston moving down. We're providing a lot of them with relocation assistance and advisory services for what to buy and where to buy all over Florida. For more information on that, log on to lamacchiaflorida.com. We do, our relocation department does a terrific job guiding people on where to buy. We might hear what you're looking for and suggest that you don't buy in South Florida. We might suggest you buy more northerly or central Florida or southwest Florida, depending upon what is important to you. Folks, people wanting to buy in Florida is not going away. It is not going away. Maybe it'll decrease for the next year or two with rates being higher, with the economy going into a little bit of an adjustment period, but there's still several hundred people a day moving to Florida, okay? So if you're a homeowner in Florida, be happy about that. If you're a buyer looking to buy in Florida, understand that you're not the only one. That's all, folks. That concludes my Q3 update. I'll be back in December with my predictions for the market. I'll be back in January with an overall report on 2023. If I see you sooner with a quarterly report, then that'll mean something has come up. Until then, stay logged into Lamacchia Realty. Stay tuned into our videos, our various updates, interest rate, suggestions, and so on. Thank you all. Good luck home buying. Good luck home selling. Take care.